Welcome back to our channel, my dear family and friends. All is good. We're not on our mountain hideaway. We are in town, enjoying ourselves very much in this new year. This is the beginning of the new year, and I think this is the beginning of an incredible turnaround. They are saying that I have the clip, but I'm not sure I can produce it. But there's they one of the financial advisors to President Trump is saying that 2025 was the year of setting tables, and 2026 is the year of the feast, of sitting down at the table and eating and seeing the economy turn around. Nowhere is this more evident, in my opinion, than silver, of course, and gold. But I think we are on the cusp. Happy New Year, Ian Bell. I think we are just moments away. It could be weeks, it could be a couple months, it could be days, it could be hours from seeing a startling reversal in the trend of the value of the ISO 222 coins, XRP, XLM, HBAR, Quant, Geula. Yeah, we're on the cusp of Geula Shlema. That's another way of putting it. Absolutely, there's no question about it in my mind. Hey, Wade, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a doctor, but things are about to get very, very good. Everything is being exposed. We're going to hear the truth of 9/11. We're going to every the fraudulent Somalian thing. And now it's starting to go over into other states. Nick Shirley is he's a great hero. There's a great clip. Let me see if I can just show that, because I think that was a great meme. Let's just see. Yeah, let's go to this for a second. Yeah, here, this clip. Nick Shirley, CNN, ABC, Washington Post. And what it says is Nick has 10 times more viewers than all the MSM trash combined. That is just unreal. Can you please enable Starlink in Iran? Right, the current regime is cutting off the internet. This is a huge story. Starting tonight, Israel begins its protection for the people. Anonymous soldiers who are present in Iran will come to the aid of the Iranian people. Apparently, they've been given the necessary instructions to support the revolutionary movement of the Iranian people. That is very interesting. Now, okay, here is the this is what I'm seeing. Okay, let me just go back for a second here. I can see that me trying to postulate anything at this point is just ridiculous. I'm just going to go through these news articles, but the basic things that I am seeing that are just earth shattering. The thing with XRP, that all the chart guys, I don't know if you're not an investor, you don't know about charts. I know a little bit about charts. I've been investing for more than, let's say, 6 years. And at some point I even took a course in like basic chart reading and stuff. I don't really get it. I mean, there are ways you can break the code, and I think if I had that discipline, I could make some inroads in that direction. But the point is not whether or not the chart people are right. The point is that the legislation, the tremendous uh, utilization of these ISO 222 coins by the Japanese, by in Singapore, by really across the board in all the financial institutions and a lot of the commercial institutions. I think Amazon, all these people are instituting this blockchain technology in their channels. That, coupled to the fact that the legislation, the Clarity Act, is about to get passed by the Senate, compounded by the fact that So you have the legislation, you have the chart people, and you have this incredible usage, this incredible utility where across the board hundreds of institutions are lining up. Then you have the EFTs that are investing in XRP. It's just like a it's like the beginning of a tsunami. What happens during a tsunami? How do you know a tsunami is coming? Right? How do you know? When I was a school teacher, I asked this question because I had a very interesting point about it. Before a tsunami comes in, the tide goes way out. In other words, it's the opposite of a flood. The whole sea just dries up for miles, like way more than like the lowest low tide that ever happened. It just goes out. So too, all the ISO 222 coins are have hit for this level a kind of a rock bottom. XRP's what a dollar 80 something. XLM is like 20 some odd cents, maybe it's up to 21 now. It's starting to go up. The wave is in my opinion could hit at any time. The water recedes. I told this to a group of students who were very difficult. I had a very and I was under tremendous pressure. The principal was a real strange dude, and he was really like putting the screws to me to get these people to get my students to behave. And so I told him the story but I told it to him like this. I said there was a group of students in Thailand, and the teacher told them that before a tsunami, the tide goes way out. And most of the children that were listening weren't really listening to their teacher, but there were a few kids in the class that really listened to their teacher. And they were standing on the beach with their families, and the tide went way out. And most people went running down the beach because fish are flopping, and who knows what kind of treasure is going to be exposed by the receding of the sea. But a couple of these kids that were listening in class, they said, "Mom, Dad, get the hell out of here. Let's go to higher ground because a tsunami's coming." They listened to their teacher, and they saved their lives. So that's how I put it to the kids to try to get their attention. I don't think it worked for more than about 3 minutes, but it was that's I tried in the beginning of screaming at my students, and it doesn't that just makes them want to do it more. So you have to figure out ways to to maintain order without enraging yourself, without getting into it. So, but anyway, this is so the chart people are saying that we have hit that low spot in terms of XRP, XLM, and the like. Silver has already taken off. Silver has already left. The tsunami is already take is left the gate. But so I'm going to get more into. I want to get more into the stories because I'm just saying that, like, first of all, and I want to repeat myself, and I want everyone to be clear. Anyone who's listening to this channel right now, I will never call you. I will never reach out to you and say I've got this great deal, this crypto deal for you. It's Ellie calling. It's Gila calling. It's whatever. It's never going to happen. These are scammers. Coinbase will never reach out to you and say your account has been breached. You must give me your account. What's your account number? That's not Coinbase. These are scammers. Be careful. I lost a lot of crypto from a scammer who just hit me at the right time and appealed to my fear, got me in the fear space, and that was it. They're saying in Iran, I'm making a transition based on the idea of fear space. You know what? Let me play the clip. But they're saying basically that the Iranian people have been in fear for 49 years. They've been living with this fear, just like I lived most of my life in a kind of an abject fear space. And then finally, I was just like, "Ah, I can't do this anymore, man. I'm pretty much not afraid. I'm not afraid to stand up to bankers or they repossess my car. I'm just like, fuck it. I mean, well, what are you going to do? You're going to ruin my credit rating? I don't have a credit rating, and why should I even worry with when these credit agencies have worse credit than I do? I should be afraid of them. So let me play. So I'm making a segue. I'm telling you that if you ever thought of buying any of the ISO 222 coins, this would be and you haven't done it yet, you might want to think about it now. I've been telling people also to buy silver through the years, and copper I think is a very good buy. I am okay, so I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just letting you know what I'm doing, and I am not a professional advisor. Trust your discernment. Yeah, paddle out, go for it. Right. So I this morning I had a little money for my pension. We're not money just slips through our hand like flopping fish. If you're a fisherman, you ever try to just sort of if you don't hold a fish the right way, it'll just squirm out of your hand. So this morning, I decided I was, it was kind of an impulsive thing, but I decided I really feel that, and I've been feeling this for years. For years, I've been thinking, okay, I'm going to invest in XRP one more time because I think it's going to go up now. And I've been feeling like this for like at least 6 years. But it seems to me with the charts and with the legal things and with all this utility that XRP is getting, that it can't be that far away. It just can't be. It could be tomorrow. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen. But let me also put this in context. I've been holding XRP for, let's say, at least 6 years, and I've been feeling like it's going to go to the moon forever. I when I first found out about XRP, I was 6 years ago. I was like, this thing's going to the moon. I better buy as much as I can, right? And I started piling in. I accumulated a whole bunch, but I got scammed. But I still have some. Anyway, the point is, every time it's gone down for the last 6 years, I bought a little bit. Today I bought what, $50 worth or something. I mean, it's not a massive amount of XRP, but every time it goes down, you buy a little more. Same with silver, same with copper, same with any of these things. Same with DJT. I'm also planning to invest more in DJT because I really feel that this fusion thing has tremendous utility. It's going to be used, and I know from experience being a DJT holder. I started buying his stock when it first came out, and I know that if you buy it when it's really low, you can make some money. So it's really low. It's like $13 now, and I want to buy. I want to start. I sold all my DJT when it was about. I think it was about 17. I needed the money, but now I'm trying to accumulate a little bit. I just feel it's important. So I just want to let you know. But I also put in, I put in like $50 into all of the ISO 222 coins, except for XDC because you can't do XDC on Coinbase, but I did put in, and I'm just going to read you the list of the ones that I did, just so just to be honest. I put in, like $25 to each of these. Let's say Stellar Lumens, XLM, XRP, Hedera Hash Bar, Algorand. I didn't put any more in Algorand because I feel I'm over invested in Algorand. I bought another share of Quant. I bought some Flare token. I think I tried to buy some LCX, whatever that is, and a little Cardano. I think I did buy a little Cardano, ADA. And I'm positioning myself to buy a little bit of DJT tomorrow morning. Just to let you know. But again, I will never reach out for you. Coinbase, Uphold, no one's ever going to call you from any of these platforms, and no one's going to call you personally. And do not fall for the QFS scam. That's another big one. Join the QFS, the RV. This has just been bullshit that's been perpetrated against people in the Patriot community. This whole RV thing, in my opinion, I just don't believe it. I don't believe somebody's going to call me and ask for my humanitarian project. It could happen, but they've been telling me this for years. I'm just like, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. All right, let's go back to the feed again. Happy New Year. You happy? It's going to be an amazing year. That's the bottom line. Whether you invest or not. Okay, so let's go back to this the feed. Okay, so here you have
right before that breakout, and on the right hand, if we look at XRP's price action on the 3-day chart, on the left hand side of your screen you can see the bull run from 2016, or I have to say the sideways accumulation of 2016, and then the breakout in 2017. In the middle you can see the accumulation phase in 2024, right before that breakout, and on the right hand side of your screen you can see the current price action here, and you can see that the current reaccumulation phase looks fairly similar to the one from 2024 and the one from 2016. It's not exactly the same, but this is to give you an idea of, yeah, once this accumulation phase ends for XRP, then I think that a big breakout could follow. Maybe not the exact same way as the previous breakouts, but maybe something that would be quite similar. Also, lastly guys, if we look at the short term, then we can clearly see that momentum is shifting for XRP. While it's still not visible in the price, we can already see that the MACD is showing higher lows. We can also see that the RSI on the daily chart is showing higher lows, while price is still making lower lows. So yeah, there are bullish divergences developing, which signals to us that we are potentially getting closer to a trend reversal.
Okay, I think that that's important to keep in mind. At the same time, this trend reversal is what's going on in Iran is a trend reversal. The Iranian people for 49 years or 47 years have been living in fear. Now, the rest of the world, we all thought that the Iranians were just like, they were totally submissive to this extremist Islamic regime because they were Islamics. They can't wait to burn. I've seen a lot of these videos. They cannot wait to burn down the offices and the mosques of these Islamists. They're This is a deep state operation. Islam, communism is a deep state operation. Socialism is a deep state operation. What's going on in New York City is a deep state operation. That's the thing that we must understand as a race, is that the enemy is not all these separate things that annoy us. This is one force with many different faces. This is one army, one force. They may be extreme right, they may be extreme left, it doesn't matter. The deep state is the deep state. The Satanists are the Satanists. You could call it the people. This nice woman on. I'll bring her up later, but she says it's the colonial British. It's not the colonial British. It's the deep state. It's a Satanist. It's these bloodline families. It's the descendants of Cain. That's really what they're saying. Okay, so let's go back to these posts. I want to play this thing about Iran that I think is so fascinating. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's you know what? Okay, let me just show you.
If we look at XRP,
Okay, a few of these things. U.S. taxpayers request 25,000 in restitution for massive government fraud. Yeah, man. Okay, America is preparing to launch the largest financial system ever. The United States is rapidly moving towards blockchain-based financial infrastructure built on the XRP ledger, the BXE token. I don't know what BXE is. I think this is a kind of a scam thing about to sell BXE token. Silver is decoupling from reality. So paper price, the real price, it's all up in the air. This will be the XRP. One morning you'll wake up the day all XRP holders become millionaires. Okay, so that's in the works. I think it's happening in the United States, rolling out the biggest XRP financial system that's ever been. All right, this is huge. Should we watch a minute of this? Let's watch it.
In 2025, America stands at the edge of a global financial transformation. The Clarity Act requires every digital asset to prove decentralization, transparency, and public ownership. To qualify, Ripple must reduce its beneficial ownership of XRP below 20%. This can be achieved through Treasury trust structures, bank quarter allocations, and institutional custody programs. Once decentralized, XRP becomes a fully mature digital commodity, unlocking U.S. banks, ETF participation, and sovereign liquidity rails. In this environment, XRP prices like global settlement infrastructure. A realistic strategic XRP is $100 to $250. So what does this mean for America? It means new industries, new jobs, honest, transparent money, restored trust, and a stronger digital dollar respected worldwide. With XRP as a sovereign-grade settlement rail, America becomes the global hub for fast liquidity and tokenized financial flows. This is honest money, true transparency, real accountability, and a win-win-win for Ripple, XRP, and the United States of America.
Very interesting. XRP EFTs have pulled in a lot of money. Okay, so they're doing well. Has anybody else reached the breaking point about the tax things? They don't want to pay taxes. But okay, so here's okay. Listen to this.
I would categorize 2025. We had some important victories, some important policy announcements, some important movement. But as I've described it, 2025 was setting the table, and especially on the economy, I think the feast and the banquet's going to be in 2026.
Feast and the banquet. Overall, I mean, inflation.
Amazing. Okay, people in Iran, just in the EFTs are quietly absorbing the supply of XRP. Latest, U.S. lawmakers are expected to advance crypto market structure legislation in early January 2026. This means clearer rules for exchanges, investors, and builders. Less uncertainty is a big win for crypto. Democrats are manipulating you again, right? Okay, bullish on Ripple and XRP, and they hate it. Ripple is a force to be reckoned with. He's more bullish on XRP hitting an all-time high than Ethereum. XRP news. The supply hit an 8-year low. Islamic Republic forces are retreating as more Iranians flood the streets of Iran. The people are chanting for the return of the king. No chance against the West. No chance against Israel. Iran was hijacked by terrorists in 1979, and the people want their country back. Is the media only interested when protests attack Israel? Okay, I want to go back to safety one more time. This is huge. Everything is happening now. Okay, let me show you another interesting post. I don't know the timestamp on this, but I think this is very important as well. And this relates to the idea of arrests happening. No, not that. I want to go to me. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty cool. The Tesla, the new Tesla transportation vehicles. Look at this thing. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I could ride around on one of those. The breakout. Now, this is the clip that I wanted to share. Listen listen to the language that he presents. I don't know if I can turn it on like this. Let's see. No, I can't. Okay, so let me go back to safety. Okay, I'll go back to here, and then I'm going to try that again. But I want you to listen to this. It's just the way he puts it is so good. I think this is the video where he talks about fear, the pent up fear.
For the first time in 47 years, the people of Iran are not running. The regime is. Here is IRGC hiding in a store. Here is the Iranian regime police station in a city getting burned down. Here, you're looking at statues of Iranian regime leaders getting destroyed. You're looking at IRGC hiding. Some of them are quitting, fleeing, joining the people in the streets. They're disappearing when facing the mob of Iranians. Over 1 million Iranians are in the streets at this point, and it's getting bigger and bigger. For 47 years, the rage was bottled up, crushed down, and forced into submission. Now it's exploding outward. Not asking, not waiting, not stopping. This is not a protest anymore. This is the first situation, it's an offense. And this is what happens when fear switches sides. When Iranian men of valor understand the regime only survives on intimidation. Freedom does not negotiate with a terrorist regime. It moves forward. Iran is now looking at history. Iran is making it.
That is so brilliant. And the idea of fear switching sides, that is such a great phrase. And that's a phrase to remember, both personally for each of us. We all have to conquer our fear. I know myself, like I've said before, I just I bathed in fear every day. But every day for the 20 years I worked for the Department of Education. And every day that I worked, the 20 years before that, when I was a contractor, I also lived in fear of economic instability, fear of everything, the money, the whole money situation, the whole debt situation is living. You have to live in fear. The Iranian people were just tyrannized by this tyrannical religious force, and we all thought, oh, Iranians, or they're hardcore. No, it was the government, it was the deep state pretending to be these Islamic extremists. It's the deep state will hide under anything that creates difficulty for people. But the idea, the phrase, fear switching sides is so powerful that when you use that bottled up fear, that bottled up rage to protect yourself and to force the enemy to when you don't live in fear, when you take that same power and use it as an offensive force, you are unstoppable. Nothing can stop what's coming. So I love this guy's passion. Let me go back to this feed again. There's just so much amazing information is coming out. Let's just look at a few little other posts from my feed, and then I want to go to the general post again. This thing with Nick Shirley. I mean, one guy takes
For the first time in 47 years,
takes out the whole media. MasterCard is aligning with XRP. I mean, this is just more news. Bombshell: U.S. aid was funding both the Wuhan lab gain of function and Smartmatic, and Smartmatic. Oh gosh, what happened? I don't want to press anything wrong. Let me go back. Sorry. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. The Senate Banking Committee has officially landed on January 15th for the markup of the long-awaited crypto market structure legislation called the Clarity Act. This is another thing that I wanted to say. Now, I don't know what the date is on this. Here it is. It's 12/31/2025. All right, listen to this. Okay, so I think that's really interesting. Digital perspectives, right? This is all happening. Um, the people of Iran are burning Islamic buildings to the ground. Nobody hates Islam more than Iranians do. Now you know. That is huge. Holy smokes, this is going to be awesome. You think the White Hats will take over the news media centers first, then start the public arrest? Because you know they won't televise it unless held at gunpoint. Okay, so this is interesting. She's saying that the media has to be they can't start making arrests if the media is still up to their old tricks. This is probably worth doing, but it's a little long for us right now. The Russian military hands over irrefutable data recovered from Kiev's strike drones to U.S. military representatives in Moscow. It conclusively proves Zelensky's dictatorship tried to kill President Putin in Novgorod. This won't end well for Zelensky. When all these corruptocrats spread out across the fruited plain and all these corrupt counties in the battleground states are forced into admission that they included uncertifiable ballots in their state's official vote totals, just like Fulton was forced to do after a 5-year fight. We'll go back and see how much Trump really won by the Electoral College in 2020. The only way they got Biden's bony, demented ass to a 43,000 ballot win across those 5 battlegrounds was by 3 furious days of physical, uncertifiable ballot dumping. And they knowingly added all these uncertifiable ballots to their vote counts. In other words, deliberate election fraud. 4,000 daycares were discovered in a 20-mile radius around Boston, Massachusetts. These were clusters of condos and homes they're registering themselves as daycares. Americans can't even fathom the theft and money laundering take place nationwide. Why are any of us paying taxes? Good question. God and country, Happy New Year. Brian Cates, you're about to watch another organized crime nation's gargantuan and truly massive revenue streams get cut off, one by one by one, by state by state by state. As for all the organized crime racketeering bosses cleverly disguised in our midst for decades via rigged elections as duly elected governors, mayors, senators, and House Republicans scream, cry, wail, moan, and sob for the cameras and try to stop, but nothing can stop what's coming. We, the people. Happy New Year. Here's an interesting post. I'm just going to read a bit of this. Why are the Clintons traveling to Epstein's Zorro Ranch directly from the White House? The President of the United States and his wife were ditching Secret Service and going to a known pedophile's ranch that's in the middle of nowhere to do what exactly? Epstein publicly stated that he wanted to seed the human race and is alleged to have an enormous 8,000 square foot underground lab under the ranch that Epstein's victims have claimed to have been to, and experiments were run on them. What kind of bizarre experiments and ritualistic practices are these satanic billionaires really up to? All right, so they were working for they were trying to get the perfect sex slave. And remember, over 21 billion went missing from the budget. The perfect place to hide and conduct whatever operations you want to. You want nothing to worry about. The truth is far stranger than fiction. So this is all happening at once. I want to go to one. I want to go back to the main feed, and then perhaps we'll call it an evening. But I don't want to go into a long thing because I'm not at home, and I'm not really in a position to really go on and on as I would like to, but I will try to cut this short. Okay, so let's go to the other. Let's go here just for a moment and check out a couple of these stories. Okay, so we got all these posts. Tesla motorhome, that looks nice, man. I could use one of those. That's not what my house looks like. No one will fight harder for the independent, free spirit of Texas than people who know what it's like when it's taken away. Do you guys want to hear more about the protests in Iran? I'll try to cover it more. West Texas chaser, storm chaser Laura Rowe captured the picture of a lifetime. A fantastic shot of a mature supercell thunderstorm illuminated at various heights by the setting sun. Amazing. 2025 was a stepping stone to the golden age. While everyone has been busy complaining about nothing happening in the past year, the Trump administration has been gearing up for real action. Of course, the media doesn't cover the wins. Of course, online influencers make you feel like you are losing. Of course, they're trying their best to cause chaos. This past year was unbelievably successful. Have you forgotten where we were only 12 months ago? Do you think President Trump forgot what they did to him? Do you think he spent 2021 to 2025 twiddling his thumbs and simply appointed his administration without carefully planning it out? Do you think Trump will let them get away with what they did to him? If you think Trump, literally the most successful person in American history, doesn't know exactly what he's doing or who he surrounds himself with, you are likely a low IQ person letting your emotions get to you. Trust in DJT. The only thing I can promise you is that the story ends with President Trump winning. Cheers to 2026. Okay, why Russia doesn't have obesity and a parasite problem. In Russia, genetic modification was not allowed. We have specific facilities for fasting. We live there while we fast. Okay, fasting is important. Okay, let me just get a few things. 300 million worth of XRP left in Q4 supporting the asset, even as 1 million was released from escrow. But prices are moving sideways around $1.80, meaning traders are betting on gains, possibly positioning for a local bottom. BMW introduces a new electronic personal vehicle. Pretty cool. President Trump has been busy stabilizing the world in preparation for the storm, which is unveiling of the results of the 2020 election. Okay, so yeah, Pentagon failed its audit for the 8th year in a row. Federal Reserve Airlines. Okay, I mean, did you know linen vibrates while polyester is close to zero? Your bedding literally affects your frequency. Dr. Zelenko, I'm calling for the immediate arrest, prosecution, and conviction of the devout pagans who have committed genocide, crimes against humanity. I can't. I love Zev. Yeah, it just makes me cry to see him, but he was just such a beautiful man. I don't know what happened. I mean, he lost a lung. None of it makes sense. But Zev, will always be in my heart. Just a beautiful, beautiful soul. Anyway, it's amazing. Everything is silver's up $1.84 now. Yeah, I mean, Persian like a cat meow. Hi from Minnesota. Okay, let's go up. Not sharing. Starfire. Millennium was wearing a silver dress. Yeah. Gene Hackman. Yeah. Okay. So I think, I follow the money. It's all about to happen. I just want to put in a word from our sponsor, just because, because I want to share this incredible technology. But let me just play a very short clip from LifeWave before we move on. I'm gonna edit it. I'm just gonna play it from like here.
beneficial. So we looked at the product and we thought, you know, I'm taking a lot of ibuprofen and Aleve, and this is probably something that might be able to help me out.
This gentleman was a policeman, and he hurt his back. He really hurt his back terribly, and he was kind of in a bad situation. Okay, let me go back to. I don't want to lose the whole thing. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Go back here, and we'll go back to that feed.
And so there would be mornings that I would wake up and I couldn't get dressed. I would have to have Mary help me get dressed, shower, because I was in so much pain. Well, not being a smart guy, because I was a policeman, and you know, we're pretty macho guys.
Totally.
I would, you know, turn to the, you know, ibuprofen, whatever it would take to get rid of the pain. And Mary suggested, she said, let's try the X39. Within, I would say, less than 2 minutes, I could bend, I could squat, I could get my shoes and socks on.
Unreal.
It was
2
unbelievable.
minutes. 2 minutes from total pain to functional.
Yeah. And I mean, I was in excruciating pain, and so that was the main reason we started with the with Lifeway. Just
Okay, I don't want to go into the whole thing, but if you're interested in a really um, life changing technology, it's costs about 90 some odd dollars for a month's worth. You get 30 patches. They have really transformed my life. I'm close to being 71 now. I'm just like a month away from being 71. I work outside every day building a house. I have incredible energy. I have really too much energy. I was telling my family here today that I am unable to sit still. It's just not. I don't know how to chill, and I'm happy with that. I'm constantly working. I have to be busy all the time. But the X39 X49 combination, I totally recommend it if you have any kind of pain. There's Eon for pain. There's glutathione patches if you want to you want to really detox properly. But this in conjunction with a decent diet. We like to fast every day. We're very careful about the food we eat, and we've had tremendous results. My partner Danielle, she suffered from a lot of speech problems, maybe from being vaccinated. I don't know what, but using the patches, now I can't get her to shut up. But yeah, it's okay, man. Yeah, I'm just saying, like these patches are miraculous. And reach out to Dr. Stacy. You could call her, you could text her. She'll get back to you. Order some patches, try it out. It may not affect you right away. It really didn't for me. I didn't even realize it, how effective they were, until I was really using it for almost 3 years. And then I said, well, wait a minute. I'm not napping. I'm working. I suffer from back pain, but when I put I put the X39 right at the tip of my spine every day, and the pain is very manageable. It's not a big deal, and I'm able to work like a dog out in the frontier. So. And I recently realized, I confessed to Dr. Stacy on our last meeting. We do a Tuesday meeting every week, pretty much every week, except when she's traveling. That after many years, where not many years, but like when I reached about 60 years old, I was not able to balance on one foot anymore, and it was hard for me to deal with that. And then I realized, after patching for a couple of years, I can stand on one foot. I can stand on one foot and put on my socks. it may not seem like a big deal, but and Dr. Stacy said that's associated with long life because if you've been patching for 6 months to 9 months, your telomeres, according to David Schmidt, the inventor of this technology, your telomeres, which are like the ends of your DNA molecules, lengthen, which means your life is increased. We believe we're seeing the collapse of the deep state, Babylonian system be dismantled right as we speak with all the attention on the fraud. It's getting so bad that they're going to have to bring in the military. We have, and now we have this Saturday, a march on no tax. Our prayers are being answered. What a show we are in. Yeah, absolutely, John. It's definitely happening. The attention on the front. It's just so it's we thought it was bad, but I mean it's so much worse than you ever think. Thanks for your service to others and your shows. Thank you so much, Wade. I really appreciate it. I don't know why I do this, but I mean I do know why I do this, but it's I probably get more from it than you guys, but it's very important it's very important that we share a kind of the human side of this. If it's not just a news story. We are human beings. We are people, and we have real lives. I don't know if I should play my song. I think I want to. I think I want to play if I have it here. No, I didn't put them up. Okay, I didn't put my songs up because I know if I start searching for the songs during a show that the whole thing shuts down. So I'm gonna. Thanks. Yeah, I have to attribute this to X39. Although now I'm using X49, and we've ordered this month. We've ordered Eon as well, which deals with inflammation, because I do suffer from back pain, but I get out of bed in the morning. I'm 70 plus years, man. I mean, it's just like I get out and I'm like Danielle. I want to get I want to work on the house today, and I'm out there framing and lifting humongous rocks all day and everything else. What can you say? I don't know. I mean, it's just an amazing technology. So I recommend if you want to talk to somebody, call Dr. Stacy. Tell her what the situation is. If you're suffering from something like diabetes or some kind of thing, just talk to her and she'll tell you, because she has more experience than me. She'll say, "Well, I had 5 people that had it, and this is what happened." The glutathione patch, by the way, they have clinical evidence that it boosts your glutathione level immensely. The stem cell, the X39 stimulates stem cell production. There's all kinds of clinical evidence on the website. So you can look it up yourself. This is not a new technology. It's been used for 20 years. It was started for the Navy SEALs with the energy patch. So this is an incredible technology for health, and couple that with drinking good water, eating well, for us, it's like limiting the number of meals you have during the day. Wait till 12 in the afternoon. Wait till 2 o'clock in the afternoon to have first meal. I still drink black coffee at the same time, but it's very healing not to have your body working on digestion all the time. It makes you tired. I mean, Daniela says to me, she says, "I'm fasting so I can, when we're physically working outside and building the house, she's like, come on, man, I'm fasting. Let's go work." She says, I'm clear headed when I'm fasting. And so, fasting is very good. These patches are amazing. But all these things in conjunction, invest, be in charge, take charge of your life, live your dreams. Don't use the energy of fear. That's what I did. I took this incredible amount of fear that I've been living with for decades. We're so frightened of the financial aspect. And finally, I'm just like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm leaving New York, man. I'm out. I lost my job. I lost my YouTube channel, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't, you think, oh my gosh, if I just got my car towed, my car repossessed, you think, oh my gosh, my car got repossessed. I'm like, screw it, man. So I don't want to pay. I'm not paying $27,000 to keep my car. It's like, no way. anyway, things progress if you just stay on it, if you're just clear about what you want. We just finished, after almost a year, no, more than that, really, like 2 years of struggling to get a well dug. We had, first we had to get an area that was flat enough. But this is what I'm saying: persistence. That's why I do this broadcast every day, because even though my channels were taken down, even though I lost my job, even though all these things, blah 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 blah, I'm still doing it. I'm still moving ahead. I have land. I have, you know, it's all in the intent, and it's all in the action. The real manifestation process, in my opinion, it's to think about it and to dream about it and say these mantras and all this other bullshit. It ain't going to cut it. If you're doing it, if you're on Zillow, you're looking for property, you're looking for, you decide to help us with the LifeWave thing. You decide to go into the LifeWave business, and you struggle with it, and it's not easy, but you keep at it. You'll be successful. That nothing can stop the human will. That's what they've brainwashed us. How can I get the patches? I'm going to destroy Australia's no problem, man. You can get the patches. Just call Dr. Stacy. She'll get back to you. And we have the patches are in 80 countries, so you don't have to worry if you're another part. I mean, can you believe it? I'm sitting here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm in Nevada right now, and I'm talking to somebody in Australia. This is unification. This is the power of the internet. People say, "Oh, the internet is weakening us." No, it's strengthening us. By the way, breath work does wonders. Yeah, breath work. All these things are great. Have you looked into the XRP network? XPR. I have looked into it. I've been desperately trying to buy XPR, and so far they're saying that there's a program called Base that's associated with Coinbase, that I might be able to buy it on that. I've been trying. Yeah, I'm very interested in the XPR network. I'm very interested. I just haven't been able to figure out how to buy it. But yeah, if you want to send me if you figure it out and you can send me a Gmail, I would appreciate it. Robert blocked me. Oh well, I don't know what that means. Glad to see you. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it's a happy crypto metals, go crypto and metals. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still, I still want to order more copper. I think copper is the next thing to go. It's always better to buy something before it blows up. And here's the thing. That's something I was going to say in the beginning with XRP, with XLM. I've been buying it for years. Okay. I always buy the dips. I never, ever think, ever. I mean, I sold all my gold and silver for land, but I would never willingly sell my XRP or XLM, no matter how low or high it gets, until it reaches, 100,000, 10,000, whatever. I'm not going to be selling my, I have no interest in, I've been holding it too long. I've given too much to this, that, to sell it at $5 would be, like, are you kidding me? And if you listen, there's a guy online. He has a YouTube channel called the Digital Asset Investor, and there are a couple of copycats. But if you get the real dude, he's a Southern dude, and he's like a coach. He's like a baseball player and kind of stuff. He's a cool dude. But he'll tell you, man, I didn't buy XRP to sell it at $3. I've been holding this for years. I've been basing my whole life on this investment. I'm not going to sell at $10 or $20. I might, if whatever. Okay, you see what I'm saying. But this is a strategy that has worked for me. And I started buying XRP when it was like 15 cents. So even though I got scammed out of a tremendous amount of it, I bought a lot of it at 40 cents. But I just held it, and then it went from 40 cents to $1. Now it's at $2. So people are saying it's so low now. Well, it is low, but it's not as it's a lot harder to buy it now at $2 than it was at 40 cents. So, it's going to be soon. It's going to be $10, $20, $100, $1,000, and then it'll be like Bitcoin. It'll just go. Anyway, yeah. So we got this. Please get Jacqueline the phone number. Can you please get Jacqueline? I'm buying copper all the time. Yeah, I think it's a good deal, man. I wish I could buy more copper. It's a good reminder to me. You've been following, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Can you please get Jacqueline the phone number? What phone? I don't know what phone number. Let's see. What does Jacqueline need? Yeah, just send me an email. You live here in Vegas? I would love to meet. Yeah, yeah, I would love to meet too. They're not selling copper, but the company where I bought silver. Yeah, it's hard. It's not easy to find copper, but um, regarding Iran, the Shah always told in interviews that he is the origin of Serbia with pride. Interesting. But anyway, yeah. So everything is happening now at once. It's exciting, man. We're finally coming up. The table was set, and now we're going to sit to the banquet. So, hold on, believe in yourself, enjoy your life, live it to the fullest. I'm sorry, I can't produce my songs right now because my channel will wig out. So we're going down nicely this week. Yeah, if you can get more silver, get more silver. I'm more interested in finding silver where I live. And, so I'm kind of like thinking about that now. I had a relative actually who was a very successful silver miner back in the 1800s. No, was it 1800s? I think, yeah, I think in the late 1800s, early 1900s, I have like my grandfather's cousin was had a very successful silver mining operation. People are going to be buying silver ore. You can find silver ore, especially in a place like Nevada. Nevada, I can look at the land, and because I've been on the land for a while, and you can tell by the colors of the land that there's a lot of silver in Nevada. Probably more so than Arizona, but people are going to be buying silver ore pretty soon at a high price. So it's all spools of copper. Yeah, yeah. Old pennies, man. I mean, I got some wire. Phone number for Dr. Stacy. Yeah, it's right here. It's 812-455-6897. That's Dr. Stacy. Thanks, Jacqueline. Yeah, just send her a text, and she'll get back to you. You could talk to her. She'll tell you what patches she thinks were good for you, and she's just amazing. She's really quick. She's a no nonsense person. She'll get right to the point. She'll sign you up. And if anybody's interested in pursuing it as a business, please reach out to me. I'm very anxious to help other people share it with people, and to grow their business. And I'll get online with you. We'll talk. We'll hang out. And we're starting a new sort of lifestyle channel. Buy a Silverado. Hey, Brian. Thank you for everything, man. Thanks for all the coffee. I totally appreciate it. I'm still drinking Brian's coffee. It's the best. We're drinking it out in Nevada. We're going back tomorrow. So, can you please tell me more about the dinar, dong, and zim notes RV location dates? I don't believe in the RV thing about that someone's going to call you. Do not sign up for this QFS nonsense. That's a scam. But I do have dinars, dongs, and zim bonds. The Iranian coin. The way I would do it is reach out to my friend John Dowling. John Dowling has some kind of company where he could get you some certified. It's good to have stuff that's certified, so you know it's legitimate. Will it revalue? I hope so. Listen, I protect. I try to be careful where my dong goes, right? But yeah, I hope it'll revalue soon. I don't know when all this is going to happen, but yeah, all these things they're like these are the kind of investments I like to make. I like to buy something when it's really low. That's why I'm not terribly interested in investing. I wouldn't take my XRP and sell it for silver. I just wouldn't, because silver's already taken off. XRP has not. I mean, it has, for me, it's already taken off. I've already made a lot of money on XRP. I mean, in terms of where it's holding now and where I bought it at. Not a fortune, not enough, but a little bit of money. And it's only going to go up. And you'll hold it for your lifetime. You'll sell a few coins here and there if you need. But yeah, Brian, man, thanks for all the coffee. I totally appreciate it. You don't have to send me coffee. You don't owe me anything, man. We're good, man. We're cosmically we're cool, but I really appreciate it. But yeah, if you want great coffee, Brian Best Spiritual Bean Coffee, make sure it's from Prescott, Arizona. And if you have the good fortune to be in Prescott, which is a very beautiful and cool town, go to Brian's Spiritual Bean Coffee house. He laid out this incredible cool place in a Q hut of all things, and he's a landscape architect and a brilliant guy. And by the way, Brian, your Brian gave me a gift of this coffee maker that he welded some copper pipes together. The people we're staying with, which is Daniela's mother and her boyfriend, the boyfriend is his name is Michael, and he was very excited to see your concoction, and he wants one. So I told him I'll try to build him one, but I'm not sure I have your. I haven't sweat a pipe in a few years, so it'll be maybe I can recreate your beautiful something like it. Buy a Silverado. You think a new Silverado? You're saying? Um, yeah, I found all copper in the street. Right, all my copper in the street. You don't need to steal it. People just don't realize it. Right, but gas, water. Right, all the wires, abundance. Yeah, we're going there, man. We got this, and I'm sure your coffee house is incredibly successful because you're just the most beautiful guy I know. So anyway, we love you, Brian, and sorry we don't have we're kind of like cramped for time because we're building this house and we're working like pretty hard on that. And we finally got our well connected. So that's really big for us. All right. Anyway, everybody should have a great night. We're coming into a brilliant new year. And just, reach out to Dr. Stacy no matter what country you're in. She will get right back to you and she'll get you. It'll just be a couple days. You'll have these patches and you'll be able to try them out. Yeah, I just ordered my patches for the month. It was, it was more money than I wanted to spend, but I'm like, I have to have my patches. It's just like I have to have my spiritual bean coffee, right? It's just like there's some things that you don't go into battle without. All right. Anyway, everyone should have a wonderful night, and I will be hopefully back in my regular haunt, my RV by tomorrow. And just it's going to be an amazing new year. It's all going to take off for us. So, Gurveyor size silver executive order. I don't know what that sees. Silver executive order, abundance. Yeah. Yeah. There's you're right. You could find copper. You don't even have to buy it. Every time when you live off grid, you go through a lot of stuff and you get wires. I don't throw out copper wires. I never throw them out. I just keep them in a box. And if I ever needed them, I would shave off the plastic and the rubber plastic, whatever the hell it is that they make the wires out of, and sell the stuff. It's going to be incredibly valuable, in my opinion. So may the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force, that nothing can stop you. Whatever you really put your mind to and you put it together, and you start making the actions. You get on Zillow, like Brian, like me with my with getting the well, finally the pump in and everything else. It took us forever. The wires alone, the copper wires into my well, cost me $3,500. It took us a couple of months. That really set us back. But Brian too. Brian took years to put his coffee house together. The idiocy of the government there. He didn't do this right, and he has to do that, and he has to do this, and then when he does this, yeah, and you have to do that. So Brian just was like, resilient. And he just kept saying, I'm like, Brian, why don't you just strangle these assholes? He's like, no. He's like, I'm and he would do it. He would do everything they asked him. And finally they let him open his coffee shop. And I'm sure it's a booming success because he and Corinne are just amazing people. So if you have the good fortune of being Prescott, you pronounce it Prescott, even though it's Prescott. It's spelled Prescott, but Prescott, that's how the locals say it. Wyatt Earp country, man. So and Brian has a coffee called Wyatt Earp that I really like. Okay, so anyway, so may the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. Nothing can stop you. Call Dr. Stacy. Call me. Reach out to me. Send me an email if you're interested in sharing this amazing product with other people. I will support you any way I can. Just be persistent, man, with everything. You got to. If you don't hear right back, send another email. The people who are successful just keep at it until they get the answer they want. How valuable copper will be. Yeah, I mean, I think so. Coins, people don't value pennies anymore. I remember when I was a younger man, when I was 9, 10, 11, they were throwing out Liberty standing quarters were in the change, and I collected every one. I had a nice collection till it got stolen. That's what happens sometimes. Okay, that's the price of being a collector. But you just keep going forward. Don't look back. Don't turn into a pillar of salt. Just keep moving forward. We're heading for the promised land. I'm sorry I can't play the song. May the force be with you, right? But really, you are the force. And do what that Iranian guy said. Use that fear and turn it around. Turn that fear into an offense. Use the fear. Use the force. Use your energy. Use your will. Use your power. Use your power of imagination. Your power of manifestation. Brian is a perfect example. He did the action. If they asked him to change a pipe, he would change a pipe. If they asked him to put in an electric this or that, he would do it. And that's what it takes. Just like me with my well. I'm like, oh, I need it. I needed this. At the end of the day, I had a friend who helped me put in the well for really nothing compared to it. It could have cost me. It could have cost me. They wanted like 15,000 for it. I got it done for about, let's say, 6 or 7,000. Okay, I mean, if you put your mind to it, the windows, I've told you, they wanted $30,000 for windows for my house. I bought it for $500. I got a bunch of old glass. Okay, that looks better than the $30,000 they wanted to sell me. So may the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force and you can do whatever it is you want. Turn your fear into power. Right? Like the Iranians, they're finally stopped being afraid, and there's too many of them. It's like V for Vendetta. Nothing can stop what's coming. May source be with you. May you realize you are a powerhouse of creative energy and source. Just like me, I don't sit still ever. If you think it's beneath you to wash the dishes, you're missing the whole point of life. You want to be busy all the time. If you're washing dishes, if you're signing some important it makes no difference. You're moving forward at all times. I don't like to chill. It's just not my thing. I'm going to tell you a story tomorrow about my friend here taught me how to play the slot machines in Vegas. I mean, he showed me. I mean, he made a couple $100. I lost like $20, but he showed me that whatever you do, just do it with gusto. Okay, but do it. And so that's it. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face.